President Trump believes he has the legal right to pardon himself. The president tweeted early this morning he has the right to pardon himself even though he, quote, did nothing wrong. President Trump also referred to the Russia probe as a witch hunt. So for more on this, we're going now to our political panel for the night. Former Georgia State Representative Ladawn Jones and Ted Harvey from the Committee to Defend the President. Folks, thanks for being with me tonight. So as we know, the big talk today is President Trump's self-pardoning ability. Now, whatever side of this you're on, whether you agree with it or not, the pardon power is probably the least limited power as granted by the Constitution. The only explicit limits to this power state that it not be applied to the impeachment process and is applicable only against offenses against the United States. Now, apart from that, it rests solely on the judgment of the president. From a legal perspective, is the president within his rights? Ladawn?
You know, technically, because this is an issue that has not been challenged, we've never had a president who has been convicted of a crime against the United States who then need to pardon himself. So this has not been handled by our Supreme Court. So I guess he wins on a technicality that he may be right, but the reality is this is just another distraction employed by Donald Trump to take all of America's eyes off the ball of the things that he's not doing well in our country.
Ted, your take on this?
She's exactly right. He's taking the eye off of what is actually doing incredibly well here in the United States, where African-American unemployment is at an all-time low. Unemployment is at 3.8. GDP is at 4.8. Obama never got above 2%, and here we are after 16 months, and Trump has a 4.8% GDP. Those are the incredible things, and yet the president is trolling the press. He's trolling the Democrats, and their heads are exploding because he sends out a tweet that everybody knows is true. The only thing that can remove the president is impeachment. And that's up to the Congress to do that, and they're never going to do that because there is nothing there. We spent the last 12 months with Mueller trying to go after a witch hunt to say that there was collusion, and everybody agrees now that there's no collusion. And the media is just going crazy over every little tweet that the president does, and for me, it's absolutely hilarious to watch them do it.
Well, it sounds like we have a begrudging consensus there, at least on his actual right to pardon himself. I guess we have to wait and see about that. But Rudy Giuliani has made this the topic du jour during his rounds on the Sunday shows. He's an experienced lawyer himself, but his presentation of this Mueller investigation doesn't seem to be doing the president any favors here, guys. How do you see Giuliani's handling of this case, Ladawn?
You know, because Giuliani is experienced, he is an experienced politician as well as a longtime lawyer. He's worked in the prosecution side. He's done a lot of things. This, to me, feels like a Kellyanne Conway bait and switch. Again, keeping everyone distracted about what's going on. Maybe we will forget when we talk about being able to pardon the president, maybe we'll forget what he said about grabbing women. Maybe we'll forget what he's told our police officers in the United States about hitting men's head on the door when they're arresting them. Maybe we'll forget what he's saying about the immigrants coming to our country and what he said about other countries. Maybe we will forget that he is tearing down the relationships with our closest allies like Mexico and Canada. Maybe this distraction by Giuliani and everyone else is exactly what they want.
Ted, how is the right viewing what Giuliani's doing? Are they happy with his performance?
Well, I can only speak for myself. I believe that Giuliani is trying to represent his client, which is the president, saying that there is no way that Mueller can subpoena the president. There's no way that Mueller can indict the president. Both of those things are true. The president will not testify, and the president can only be impeached, and he can only be impeached for things that Congress says that are high crimes and misdemeanors. That's never going to happen. So this entire discussion is a moot point, and that is all that Giuliani is trying to tell the American public, is that this witch hunt needs to be over with, that Mueller has no legal authority to move forward with any indictments. He can come forward and say this is what happened, but that is as far as his legal authority goes, and I think that is what the president's attorney is trying to tell the American people and trying to tell Mueller as well.
All right, I think we're going to have to.
But you notice that's how Trump has gone back on his word, and he said that he would testify if called, and suddenly he knows he better not. That's a big, shocking surprise to the rest of America.
As you guys know, things change very quickly here in Washington, D.C., so we're going to have to watch and see how all of that goes. Thanks so much for joining us tonight, Ladawn Jones and Ted Harvey.